Good afternoon, people. Today we have got another Screenwash test. So this is Screenwash test number 2. And the reason we're doing a Screenwash test number 2 is because over the December, so this is December 2022, it was freezing. Everywhere was freezing. And I used the concentrate version of this one in my car. And guess what? It froze. That's the first time it's ever happened. So we're doing another Screenwash test to see, well, what ones don't freeze, and we're going to see what one's clean, although my cleaning capabilities aren't the best because I find that they all kind of do the same job anyway. So that being said, the lineup for this year is at £10.49 we have this. This is the top of the range Halfords Screenwash, and this one you can pick up obviously at Halfords for £10.49 for 5 litres, but this will apparently go down to -20. So we shall test. Well, I don't think I have anything that does go to -20. I've got close, but we shall see. Second up, we have got the No Nonsense Concentrated Screenwash, which we can get from Screwfix for £7.99, again for 5 litres. Apparently this only works down to -4, and that will give you 25 litres at -4. We have then got, as I said, what I use in my own car, which is the berry scented Halfords Concentrated Screenwash. Admittedly, I don't use a concentrated one, I use the ready to pour one. But this apparently goes down to -10, and for 5 litres it will cost £8.99. The only one we have here that isn't a concentrated one is this one, and this is the one we got from B&Q. And this is also 5 litres, but apparently it goes up to -8, and you can get that from there for £6.50. And then finally, we've got the one that I am probably most interested to see, because this is the Prestone Concentrated Screenwash, which I got from Costco for, I think I did actually pay slightly more than this. So at the moment you can get it for £10.18, and this apparently works down to -23. But apparently it will also give you 100 litres at a very cold temperature. So this is the one to watch at the moment. So we shall test them out and let's see how good they are. Quickly, what we're going to do first is the sniff test. As you can see, these are all brand new, so I'm just taking the caps off all of them. The reason we're also doing these screen washes rather than, you know, some car cleaning brands one is because these are probably the most ready available for there's a Halfords everywhere, there's a B&Q everywhere, there's a Screwfix everywhere. You can get this in a few places, you know, but I got it in Costco, but I think you can get it in Euro car parts. I do actually think you can also get it in Toolstation, but I was in Costco at the time, so that is why we got this, and that's got a special cap on it. I should have probably loosened all of these beforehand, but bloody hell. Oh, B&Q one certainly got the strongest lid. Bloody hell. Off you come. And it's got a seal on it as well. And for this one, we have to squeeze it. So this has got a proper, it's a proper posh one, this, isn't it? And also a seal as well. Let's pop that one. Pop that one. So we're going to smell this one. Wow. Woof. That just smells like brandy. That smells horrible. Good start for that. We've got the B&Q one, which smells bloody awful as well. Again, smells like brandy. This one should smell nice. Yeah, that's a lot stronger than obviously what I'm used to, but it does smell good. The Nonsense, that just smells like white spirit in my opinion. Not the nicest smell, and never smelt this one before. So this is citrus scented, and this is, it smells right actually. It smells alright, but to be fair, I think the standard berry scented smells the best. So the winner of the smell test is the Halfords berry scented. If that's all you care about, you don't care about the cleaning or the freezing capabilities, and you just want to go from the smell that comes out, then that is your winner. So the next test is going to be the freeze test. Don't worry, I haven't wasted this water. I've been collecting the bottles over a few weeks. So what we're going to do, so they've all got 3 bottles in front of them except for the Prestone one, which I'll talk about that in a sec. So what we're going to do is put 100% screen wash in here straight out the bottle. We're then going to do a 50% water, 50% screen wash, and then we're going to do 80% water and then 20% screen wash. So that's what we're going to do for these 4. And as I said, I will accept the dye out might not do as well, because obviously these are concentrated amounts and this is a straight up pour into your car. Right, the difference with this one is that it's making some pretty bold claims. So what this is saying, because on the back it doesn't have standard like instructions, it doesn't say add 20% to have this amount, you know, -5, -10, add this amount. What it actually gives you on the back is season. So it says for winter, for autumn, and for spring and summer. I know it's quite difficult for you to say, but it says that during the winter months, you can put this directly in and it will work down to -23. But then in the autumn months, it says do 1 part screen wash to 9 parts water. So basically it would be for a litre, 100 ml of this to 900 ml of water. And then it says in the summer months, it says what you should do is 1 part of this to 19 parts of water. So if you do that, this should theoretically give us 100 litres of screen wash. So that is why we've got a couple more bottles on this one. So I'm going to pour one of them so you can see what I'm doing. Now fast forward the rest so you can go watch me pour them all out. So let's get on with it. I'm going to show you pouring out of this one because I'll speed up the other one so it'll just fly through it. But I'm going to give the Prestone one a special mark because it comes with a little funnel, even with a little air tube running down it as well. Look at that. It's a good idea. So right, these bottles are 500 ml. So for the first one, I'm just going to pour straight out 500 ml. So it's just neat concentrated screen wash into the bottle. I don't know why I say that's going to be quite. I have a funnel. Silly boy. I better spill it. So the funnel does work, but it makes the chug on it a little bit slow. Let's pour that off. There you go. Look at that. Speed is our friend. Speed is our friend. Although speed means you drop it a lot, but as well we have this on there. So this one is now going to go in the freezer. So that is 100% screen wash. So in this Pyrex, I've got 250 ml of water. I'm now going to add another 250 ml. If I can see it on the a little bit more. There you go. So now that is a 50-50 mix. So I'm going to pour that in here. Again, try not to spill most of it. No, went a bit frothy. That doesn't matter, I just want the screen wash in there. So there you go. There's the second one, 50-50. So now this is going to be the 80% water and 20% screen wash. So if I worked that out correctly, it should be 400 ml of water and then 100 ml of this. I believe makes it 80-20%. So let's add in the 100 ml of this. Nearly there. Probably added a fraction bit too much, but regardless, that is pretty much there. This is me trying to be scientific. I've spilt a lot less than what I actually thought I would. Yeah, I used a tiny fraction bit. Much there. So right, this is the 80%. Now we're going to get to the big bit. So now we are going to do 400. So this, I believe, works out at 90%. So I've got 450 ml of water, and I'm going to only add 50 milliliters of the screen wash. I believe I worked that out right. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. So just 50 ml of this. Stop the video to think, am I doing that correctly? Right, so yeah, so this is now 90% water and 10% screen wash. So I'm going to pour this one in. There's a bit of water in that one. Oh, knocking them all over. I know this is long-winded, you watching it, but I'm just trying to show you this is what I'm going to do for all of them. As I said, I'll speed it up. This one doesn't smell the nicest. As I said, it smells like brandy. Not that brandy's a bad thing, just you don't want to be smelling it this time. So there's this one, and now I need one more to do. We have now got 475 milliliters of water, and then all we're going to add of this is 25 milliliters. I'll be amazed if this doesn't freeze, but So look, obviously this isn't bang on scientific, but you know, it's close enough. It's close enough for someone doing it in their kitchen, do you know what I mean? Alright, so, yeah, I'm interested to see what this one's gonna do. So, 5% screen wash. 5% screen wash, bloody hell. So, here we go. So you can actually see, like, as the colour runs down them, so obviously this is 100, 50, 80, 90, so look at the colour change, quite cool, isn't it? So I'll do the others, I'll speed it up so I don't bore you, but this is what we're going to be doing. That is all the Screenwashes diluted, and I will say the citrus scented over on that far corner, when I put it in my Pyrex dish, sorry about the camera, when I put it in my Pyrex dish, I'm pretty certain it's stained it up a bit. It looks a bit colourful now, but look, that is the 100% of it, and that is only 20%, so 80% water, 20% spirit. There isn't that much of a colour difference. It looks a bit more syrupy, this one. And it's the same with the Dial, the one that isn't actually a concentrated one. This is 100% and this is 80% water. So shows you they dilute quite well. The only one that you can really tell that's been diluted, you can tell this one, obviously really dark, but the one I think you can see quite clearly is this one. So that is quite blatantly a very, very dark purple, and that is a light purple. So these four, we've got three, so you know, 100%, 50% and 80% water, and then obviously at the bottom we have got those three, plus we've got the 90 and 95%. So for the Prestone, considering that is 100% and then that is only 5% screen wash and 95% water, I don't think that's that bad. Now it's time for the cleanliness test, and I know this one's quite difficult, but I like doing it, so why not? Someone did also point out on episode 1 of the screen wash test that I did it wrong because I let some dwell longer than others. It was a fair point, you know, I'll give him that. But you know, I'm not really a scientist, am I? I'm doing it on my garden door. Excuse the garden for being a bit of a messy as well. But anyway, how I'm going to do this, I'm going to put my two things here, and then how I'm going to test it, I'm doing this before I'm freezing it. So I'm just going to fill up the tube, and I'm going to use up whatever's in the tube. So like, there you go. So now this is all going to be the 50-50 concentrate as well. So it's fair on all of them. So this is the 50%. And what we're going to be putting on the windows, don't worry, I'm not going to beat around the bush with this. What we're going to be putting on the windows is melted peanut butter. Looks lovely, doesn't it? So I'm just going to give that, use the back of the spoon, going to give that a quick smear there. And I couldn't think of anything else, so we're using whipped cream, proper whipped cream as well. Squirty cream, sorry. Yeah, it's cream regardless. This is vanilla one though, this is lovely stuff. I would 100% recommend this. This is brilliant stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to spray what's in the tube on it. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk this through as much next time. Oh, that used up quite quickly. So I've got my squeegee somewhere. I've lost my squeegee. Got my squeegee. So this has been on here for about 10 seconds. And all I'm going to do, I'm not going to push down with too much force. Just going to go like this. Look at that. That whipped cream one is... Oh, damn it, I dropped it on the floor. The dog's going to be happy. But as we can see, that cleaned it off quite nicely. I'm then going to do it again. You know. So, to be fair, I'm not really sure what this is showing because it probably would wipe off even if I didn't use anything. But with that, it cleared off most of the peanut butter, but left it quite smeary, and it did clear off the cream, but it just left the excess bit where I pulled it away. Next up, we're going to do the no nonsense. So it is the Screwfix one. I'll put it on there. Here's your peanut butter. Here's your whipped cream. Here's your no nonsense. And we only get 2 or 3 squirts, so just do one big squirt. Maybe it's just a better squirt, but it's certainly look better on this one. So let's grab the squeegee again. Same thing, and pull it down. And AC, definitely, the other one pulled that off better. I'm only going to do it the once just to prove a point. But I would say, just on that first one, that the Halfords citrus scented, so the green one, the more expensive one, did definitely do better in that. I'll do it again. Next up is the berry scented Halfords one, so the purple one, the one that's slightly cheaper. So let's get a dollop of that on, let's get a little bit more on there. And the cream. Again, if you can think of a better test I can do for this, let me know, but you know, try my best. Purple one. So grab the squeegee again and pull straight down. I should really put something on the floor because there's a lot of cream on the floor. The dog is going to be going crazy. So I'll wipe that off. See, it hasn't dealt with the peanut butter as well as the first one did. You know, so I think the well, the most expensive one is winning at the moment. Shocker there. We'll go over the second time. Right, so it did better than the no nonsense, but it's definitely not as good as the green citrus scented Halfords one. Next up, we've got the Dial B&Q one. So again, peanut butter on there, whipped cream on there. And I'm gonna grab it. Nothing in the tube at the moment, as you can see. Squirt it out. Grab our squeegee again, and same thing, pull it down, see how it does. Oh, 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 look at that, and I even caught the cream as well. That, I tell you what, that might have actually done better than the Halfords one. That's with one wipe, look at that, it came straight off on there. Then on the second, after I've wiped it, and then the second flyby, it is smeary. Can I put it just a bit harder? No, I'm taking a bit longer on this one. There's still a bit there, so it's just the last bit of, which you can't see, just the last bit of residue. But, okay, so the Dial B&Q one, I think, is winning this test. We are now on our final one. So again, with the peanut butter, let's get a bit more on there. This is such a waste. Peanut butter on. Whipped cream on. Or squirty cream, whatever you want to call it. And again, these have all been 50-50, by the way. These are all 50-50, so there's nothing in the tube, as you can see. So, I feel I used a little bit more with that one, in all honesty. Nothing in it. Got a squeegee again. Same thing, not going to push down too hard. Then come down. It's a shame, so it's actually been the Dial one, it's the only one that's been able to get the whipped cream on there. But I can't knock it for that. But Prestone one has also pulled off the peanut butter straight up. The second flyby, I just quickly wiped it off. Yeah, that's, well, to be fair, it's got the biggest point on it, you know, saying it could do 100 litres. So I think it has actually won the cleanliness challenge. And we are back. So in all honesty, after about 4 hours, I did go back to the freezer to see how they were going, and none of them had frozen, including the water. The water, this is the, is that the water? No, that's the water. See, now it's completely frozen, but after a few hours in my outside freezer, it wasn't doing anything. So I changed freezers and I put it in the one inside. So this is the standard bottle of water. You can use it as a hammer. So let's get all these ones out and we'll see what ones are frozen. Right, so I readjusted that because this way you can actually see what I'm going to pour in here. So as I said, this is the just standard water, and well, the only problem is it's hard to make them stand because they're all like puffed up at the bottom. But I can't get can I get a lid off that? See, that is frozen solid, what it would do because it's just water. So we'll start with the Prestone one over here at 100% concentrate. It is a complete, I haven't got to pour that out. I can see inside that is completely fine. Although it says it'll do -23, so it should do. Right, the Dial one, this is 100% concentrate. I think inside, yeah, look, inside it has, oh, it's more like a slush consistency. There is some, But as you can see, so it's done all right, to be fair. It says it only goes up to -8, so it's colder than that in there, and it has worked. But as you see, it is all slushy. The 100% berry scented Screenwash again has also gone. See, now that's surprising because this says it does -10, and this says it does -8, and yet I would say that this has probably gone a bit more slushy. Oh, maybe it was just the top bit. Okay, there's definitely more fluid, like more liquid, more fluid. There's definitely more liquid coming out of that. But I would say the Dial one has done pretty well. Apologise for pausing the video, someone decided to call me. But it's only about a minute later. So now we've got the No Nonsense one, and that feels a lot more slushy. The top looks pretty frozen, and I'm squeezing this really hard. You can probably hear. But yeah, I don't think that's done too well in that. And then finally, we've got the, again, I haven't got to get that out. That is clearly not frozen at all. So for the 100% ones, I'm going to say the best two was the Prestone and the Halfords citrus scented one. So they're more expensive ones. So these two win the 100% one. In second place, I'm going to give it to this one. Well, yeah, so they're joint first. In second place, I'll give the berry scented one at full concentrate. But very, very closely by the Dial one, because I think it only did a tiny bit worse. And it says it only works to -8. And it's about -15, -16 in that freezer. So this is a close third. You know, it's unlucky not to be second, but I'm going to give it third. And then in last place is going to be the No Nonsense one. Although it doesn't have, I'll have to check online what it says the temperature goes up to. So let's do the 50-50 mix. So 50% Screenwash and 50% water. We'll start with this one. Again, this was given the boldest claims, and the top of it has frozen. There is liquid in there, so if I squeeze it, it does come out, but most of it is slushy, as we can see. So I don't think it's done too well there. My hands are freezing. I should put gloves on for this. Right, the Dial one, that's not frozen solid. There is liquid in there. Again though, so I can barely get it out of there. Okay, so at the moment the Prestone one is winning, which it should do. This is the 50% one. I've got that the wrong way around. So this is the berry scented one, and that too, I can't even get any out the top of that. So would I say that this has done better than this one? Let me do this one again. One sec. I squeeze them both. I'm getting more liquid out of the Dial. I've got to put that down. That's really cold. I am actually probably getting more liquid coming out of this one. So I'd say that the Dial one is punching above its weight at the moment. So I think B&Q are doing quite well. So at the moment, it is the order we've actually got it in. This is first, this is second, this is third at the moment. Sorry, I've got to warm up my hands a little bit. I know this bit of the video is quite long, but you know, trying to be as detailed as possible. Well, I'm not being too hopeful with it. I haven't even got her open. That is rock solid. There's a little bit in there, but that's rock solid. Yeah, the Screwfix No Nonsense one isn't doing particularly well in this test. Oh, that's bloody cold. That's bloody cold. Right, now the citrus one. Again, the top of it is frozen. And do we get anything out of it? Oh, yeah. Ooh, so actually, I think that this one is actually our winner. So for the 50-50 concentrate, in first place, I'm going to give it to the citrus Halfords one, followed by the Prestone one, then the Dial one, then the berry scented Halfords one, followed by the No Nonsense. Yep, Screwfix isn't doing too well at the moment, unfortunately. Well, again, I'm going to say that Dial one is doing pretty well. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be too optimistic on this one, considering they're not doing very well on the 50-50s. But the Presta Frozen Solid, This one is frozen solid. This one, that's proper frozen solid. That I'm not even gonna. That is. I'll give you smack them together. Let's see. And then this one. Oh, there is a bit of movement in there. So where's the Prestone one? Because this is the one that should have some liquid coming out of it. Got some little driplets coming out of it. But the Halfords berry scented one definitely has more. I say there is actually some fluid left in there. So I think I'm going to give it to the citrus scented Halfords one for the win. Even though I don't think it did particularly well, but it technically won, and the rest of them are all going to be joint last or second. I don't really know what to say, but this one technically won, and the other ones are all pretty much the same. So I would say if you do get any of these, I wouldn't bother watering them down 80% water and 20% screen wash, because it's just going to freeze. And then finally, we've got the 95% water and the 90% water of the Prestone ones, and they're both frozen. They're both frozen solid. I haven't even got to move them around. I don't know what I was really hoping. Well, I was hoping that they might do a little bit better. I have quickly thought of another way I could potentially test these. So what I'm thinking is these are all the 50-50. So 50% screen wash, 50% water. And I'm thinking whatever one defrosts first should theoretically be the best. So I'm going to give it half an hour at this room temperature, and then we'll pour them out and we'll see, you know, if that works. I don't know if it will work, but I'm going to try it because it's my video and you can't tell me what to do. So this is still the plain water, and after half an hour at room temperature, this is what we would expect from plain water. So just a tiny bit of water will come off the top, but most of it is still frozen in there. Right, we'll start off with this one, and how much has it been able to pour out? So a little bit of ice in it, but it's actually pouring out pretty nicely. So yeah, I think they've done quite well. So the no nonsense of half an hour. No, even if I squeeze it, it's just coming out like slush. So alright. So at the moment, I don't think I'm giving too much to the no nonsense. Right, now for the berry scented -10 Halfords one. There is fluid around though, I can see it all moving around, but the ice just at the top. After squeezing a little bit, obviously not as good as the green one. So I did also, during the video, I did also put the 80% waters at the back as well to see what would happen. So here's the Dial one. Yeah, look, that's without even squeezing. So if I squeeze it, getting big slushes of ice, but the Dial one is punching well above its weight. And then finally, the Prestone one, it looks to have actually, oh wow, look at that. See, look, that's just, all right. So for the 50% after half an hour, the Prestone one has won that test. And we have come to the end of the test. So now it is time for the conclusion. And the way we come to the conclusion is from a point system. I see other videos, they might have a nice posh tally that comes up on your screen. I can't, so I had to do it with a Sharpie, henceforth why I've made a mistake. And how I've done this is the more points you have, the better you are. So 5 points would mean it is the best, and 1 point means it would be the worst. So in terms of price, the citrus one is the most expensive. That's why the citrus one, I mean the green Halfords one, gets 1 point because it's the most expensive, and the Dial one gets 5 points because it is the cheapest. So that is how we've worked this out, and I've done that off price, smell. I have amended my smell because I actually think that this one smells slightly better than this one. This is stronger, but this one is actually, I would probably say, nice. It smells like a lemony, limey smell. It's nice. So that being said, the results are here, and in last place is the no nonsense concentrated one. I haven't really got anything nice to say about it. It's the second cheapest. That is pretty much all I can say about it, because it was the worst for the concentrate, 100% in the freezer, the worst for the 50-cent, the worst for the half an hour, and the worst for the cleaning. So avoid that. Don't buy that. In second last place, so in fourth place, is the berry scented one. And the place where it actually came second, which was its highest finish, was actually its smell. So I do say it does smell very nice, but in this test it comes fourth. In third place, surprisingly, is the B&Q. Remember, this is a non-concentrated one with 20 points, and that scored, it actually came first in one of the tests, and that was the price. This is the cheapest one here, and it also came second in the cleaning one, if you remember. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with first and second, and in second place is the Prestone one. Now that one, in terms of the 100%, when we put it in the freezer, 100% concentrated, it did the best. It did the best after half an hour at 50%, and it also did the best at cleaning. But off this point system, our winner by one single point with 23 points is the green citrus scented Halfords one. And that, I would say, is the best smell. It came in joint actually with the 100%, in the freezer. It actually came joint first because they both did really well. But it also came first in the 50% one, and then it came second in the half an hour at 50%. So, that being said, I will give this one a special shout out because I think B&Q have done really well with this one. But for this test, this is your winner. So, I'm actually going to swap this, and I'm going to start using this in my car now. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, thanks for watching.